How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Pinterest. I'm just hoping that I said that correctly. Ticker symbol pins. I talked about it in a top 5 stock video to keep on your watch list. Looking forward for that gap fill. But hey, I'm going to be doing an actual video on it. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support, we want to know resistance, and as far as that gap fill potential is concerned and why I'm so bullish on it, hey, we're going to go over that. And then we're going to be going on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. As far as for the short volume ratio and how heavily vested shorts are inside of this play, it will have an impact on the stock price. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. Were institutions loading up on shares of pins today? We're going to find out. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more key details. So let's get to it. So we're going to be doing a technical analysis for pins. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $56.99, being up 2.56%. On the low, it tested $55.52, and then on the high, testing $58.16. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 8.843 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 8.322 million shares. So just above average volume there, and I know for a fact many bought in when they saw it get down to 55, 52, and I'm about to get into that just now. Let's take a look at our chart here. We're using the 1-year daily chart. You can see from the RSI down below, it is right around 42.96, so it is in the oversold territory. As far as for our moving averages here, yes, we are below the 200-day, the 100-day, the 50-day, and also the 21-day EMA. But one thing to be aware of, we ended up getting to $58.16 as far as for the high of the day. So what that tells me right away, as far as for this week, I want to see us being able to build up some momentum and getting back into the $57 level and being above the 21-day EMA at 58.05. I think that is very doable for pins. And then afterwards, I want to see a move going to $60. Of course, there's going to be a lot of selling pressure here. I won't be too surprised with the profit taking due to the fact this is a psychological area. But one thing that I want you to be aware of, and I talked about it in one of my top 5 stocks videos, we have a big time gap fill opportunity here. We can see as far as gaps in the past, pins has been able to actually fill this gap. So as far as this setup is concerned, I feel like there's a lot of potential here, and testing right at that $55 range and then getting a lot of that buying pressure, again, that is no shock whatsoever. So what I want to see is, if you're looking into actually getting into this position, do your homework, do your due diligence. But I myself, when it got to 55, I'm like, hey, I'm going to load up, buy some more shares, because I'm trying to play this gap fill all the way up to around $68 here. A lot of potential there. I'm down to wait. Hey, I'm giving this play at least 3 months. Again, it could happen a lot sooner than that, but that's just for myself. You got to figure out what is right for you, but that's the amount of time I'm giving it to materialize. But for the most part, it looks really good. A lot of potential in this chart. Let's see what happens. So we're going to be taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and the short interest information for Pinterest. So we can see here, green rows indicate new positions and red rows indicate closed positions. So what we want to see here, as of late, we have AIM Variable Insurance Funds that put in a filing that they purchased just over 50,000 shares. And we also have Smith Midcap Fund Class F that went in with just over 4,444 shares. And also for the 30th, we have here American Customer Satisfaction that went in with just over 29,000 shares. And most notably, as we can see for the 27th, we have Row Price Midcap Growth Fund that went in with just under 200 370,000 shares. Now, when we take a look at the short interest information here, scrolling down on the page, you can see the short shares availability is at 10 million, updated 14 minutes ago. And for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 0.25%. Now, taking a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 27th, it was at 31.01. Close for the 30th, it was at 33.25. And then the close for the 31st, which was yesterday, being at 44.91. So there's a lot of short squeeze potential in Pinterest, and it's part of the reasons why we want to keep this on the watch list. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for pins. So we can see here on the inflow, it was at 76.47, and then on the outflow, it was 72.44. So we ended up having an inflow day. So we had 3.05 on the large, 45.24 on the medium, and then on the small we had 28.18. Keep in mind this is in the millions. When we take a look at the outflow side, we had 0.75 on the large. On the medium we had 43.97, and then on the small we had 27.72. So pretty much inflows killed it overall on the day. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for today, September the 1st, it was at 2300.17. We had outflow days on the 31st and as well as on the 30th, but you can see we had inflow days on the 27th and as well as the 26th. So institutions were loading up on shares of Pinterest for today. I know many of you will be excited about that. I know I am. And of course, it keeps my bullish stance on this stock overall in general. Institutions would not be loading up on a stock if they do not see a potential return on investment. So this is good to see, and we're going to continue to keep an eye on it. I know I'm inside of this play, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what else it can do. So now let's jump into the final thoughts and go over some more key details. So for my final thoughts for Pinterest, I am still bullish when it comes to this overall play. Like I was talking about inside of the technicals, I'm giving a timeline of 3 months. But if I have to wait longer than that, I really don't mind it. Because look at it like this. If you're getting in at an entry that is around 56 bucks and you're riding that trend all the way up to $68, that is a 21% return overall. On average for the market, as far as for 1 year, it is around 10 to 12%. So you're almost beating the market by 2 by going through with this play. But keep in mind, there are risks involved if you are getting into this, and it's part of the reasons why I say you do your homework and you do your due diligence. I know for myself, I'm going to be inside of this play because I am very bullish on it. I like the technical setup, and I'm also looking forward to seeing that gap fill, and I could see in the past they were able to fill in gaps as well. So that's why I'm willing to wait. I want to see it in 3 months, but hey, if I have to wait up to a year, at least I know I'm already beating the market overall in general. When we went on Fintel, one thing that we could see clearly, it does continue to have short squeeze potential written all over it. So that is another great thing to know. I know many of you traders out there will be excited to actually hear that, because again, we already know with stocks that have short squeeze potential, they can make some really strong moves to the upside in a very quick amount of time. And is that going to be happening with pins? That's something we don't know about. But one thing we do know for sure, there's a lot of interest inside of this stock, especially when it pulled back to $55 and around 52 cents. There was a lot of buying there. Ended up closing the day just under 57 bucks. So these are one of the things that you want to be aware of when you're taking a look at that price action. And again, can it pull back even further? Most definitely can. And if it does decide to do that, you already know I'm going to be looking to average down on my position as well. So with all of that said, you can see I'm very bullish on this stock. As far as for yourself, like I said, do your homework, do your due diligence, know what you're getting yourself into, know the risks that involve, and make sure the money that you're going to use, you have no immediate need for it whatsoever. Because if you do, you have no reason to be inside of this play or just trading stocks overall in general. You want to go about it the smart way, all right? Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.